In this bleak world, a mysterious cataclysmic event has ravaged the earth, wiping out nearly all animals and crops. Civilization has crumbled, and survival has become a brutal battle. Our protagonists, a man and his young son, traverse the desolate cities in search of food and supplies while avoiding cannibalistic gangs. As they journey through this desolate landscape, the man reflects on how the catastrophe has affected the world and its remaining inhabitants. The disaster struck, freezing the clocks at 1:17, accompanied by a blinding flash of light and mild tremors. The man has lost track of time, but he estimates it's already October. He fears that as the world grows darker and colder, even the trees will eventually fall. On the road, they encounter various refugees struggling to survive with their carts and armed gangs scavenging for resources. The world has turned into a place of chaos and savagery. Amidst this, the man shares tales of courage and justice with his son to keep him going. While exploring an abandoned farm for supplies, the boy stumbles upon a haunting sight of hanged corpses. The father explains that these were people who chose to end their own lives, unable to bear the harsh reality. Throughout their journey, the man carries the burden of 2 bullets in a revolver, one for himself and one for his son. It's a chilling reminder of the desperation that surrounds them. In flashback scenes, we learn about the man's wife, who faced the dilemma of bringing a child into this dangerous world. Despite her fears, the man urged her to give birth to their son, and the child's presence becomes a glimmer of hope in the darkness. As they encounter armed gangs on the road, the man's determination to protect his son is put to the test. He makes difficult choices to ensure their survival, facing the grim consequences of this new world. Despite the harsh realities they encounter, the man tries to instill goodness and hope in his son. He urges the boy to carry the metaphorical fire of humanity, even when surrounded by darkness. Their journey is emotionally charged, with the boy longing for his mother and the man struggling to let go of his past. But they press on, searching for a better life in this desolate landscape. In an act of defiance, the wife chose to leave without saying goodbye to her son and husband. She simply urged the man to take care of the boy and head south. Her departure led to her tragic demise in the darkness. Determined to find a better place to live, the man and the boy came across an empty house during their journey. While exploring the house, they stumbled upon a padlocked door in the kitchen. Breaking the lock, they discovered a cellar filled with starving and mutilated people pleading for help. Fleeing from the disturbing sight, they faced a threatening man pursuing them. Narrowly escaping, they hid in the bathroom while the house's occupants returned. In a desperate attempt to protect his son, the father considered using the gun, but the boy refused. However, when the danger approached, the man pointed the gun at his son to prevent the fate of those in the cellar. A loud distraction from the kitchen allowed them to escape through a window and hide until nightfall. Shielding the boy from the horrific screams they heard, they continued their journey. The duo faced starvation and dire circumstances, even resorting to eating bugs for sustenance. The boy sought reassurance from his father that they would never resort to cannibalism, no matter how hungry they became. Affirming their goodness, the man reassured the boy that they carried the fire within them. Stopping at the house where the man grew up, he recalled fond memories of past Christmases. Despite the boy's discouragement, the man remembered his old friends, now gone. As they struggled with hunger, the boy wondered about the possibility of sudden death, but the man explained the slow process of starvation and prepared his son for survival. Finding solace in an empty house with a piano, the man remembered how his wife used to play the instrument. While the boy couldn't recall it, they left the place empty-handed. However, they stumbled upon a bunker in the backyard, filled with abundant food. Temporarily making it their home, they were forced to leave when strange noises above made them uneasy about their safety. Continuing their journey to the coast, they encountered an older man walking ahead of them. Realizing he posed no threat, the boy offered him some food. Though the father hesitated to let the older man join them, they invited him for dinner. The older man introduced himself as Ely, and together, they pressed on. After sharing dinner, Ely and the man engaged in a conversation about the boy. Ely was struck by the child's angelic presence, as he hadn't seen another child in a long time. Although Ely once had a child of his own, he hesitated to speak about what happened to him. Reflecting on the past, Ely revealed that he had sensed an impending catastrophe but felt powerless to prepare for it. In these perilous times, he believed that desiring death was a luxury he couldn't afford. The next day, the boy tried persuading his father to assist Ely further as they part ways. However, the man felt they had already done enough and suggested they reconsider their actions once their own provisions ran out. The boy pointed out that Ely wasn't a bad person, and they decided to hide their cart in the woods to explore nearby huts. Approaching the houses, the man encountered a chilling sight of skulls on the ground. As they turned back, they witnessed a horrifying scene of a woman and child being chased by cannibals. The man and the boy fled deep into the woods to escape the gang's clutches, with a strong earthquake adding to the chaos. Despite the man's deteriorating health, they persisted towards the coast. Upon reaching the beach, the boy's excitement turned to disappointment due to its appalling condition. Spotting a shipwreck nearby, the man swam towards it in search of supplies, leaving the boy to watch over their belongings. Unfortunately, while the boy slept, a thief stole their possessions. Upon returning with a flare gun taken from the shipwreck, the man pursued the thief, with the boy pleading for mercy. Eventually, the thief returned their belongings after the boy's intervention. Later, the boy persuaded his father to help the thief, but upon their return, the thief had vanished. Continuing their journey, they encountered a ravaged street. The boy's fascination with a bug quickly turned into a dangerous situation as they faced an archer's arrows. The man retaliated with the flare gun, injuring the archer. Upon investigation, they found a weeping woman by the injured archer's side, with both sides accusing the other of following them. As the man's health worsened, they decided to camp on the beach, leaving their belongings behind. In a dream, the man reunited with his wife, realizing his impending death. He imparted crucial advice to his son, encouraging him to continue south, keep the gun close, and find the good guys. Covering his father with a blanket, the boy took the gun and carried on along the shore, where he encountered a stranger approaching him. As the stranger approached, the boy took out the gun, ready to defend himself. The stranger inquired about the boy's father and calmly encouraged him to lower the pistol. Engaging in a heartfelt conversation, the stranger presented the boy with two choices: to join their group or stay with his father on the beach. He advised the boy to avoid the road if he decided to venture on his own. Seeking reassurance, the boy asked if the stranger was one of the good guys. The man could only offer the boy a chance, but he disclosed that he had two children, a boy and a girl, with him. He assured the boy that they were not cannibals and had no intention of harming him. The boy posed a crucial question, asking if the stranger carried the fire. Uncertain how to respond, the man eventually replied positively when the boy persisted for an answer. Convinced by the stranger's answers, the boy decided to go with them, bidding farewell to his father. Approaching the stranger, the boy noticed a woman and two children accompanying him, along with a dog. The woman revealed they had been following the boy and his father for some time, expressing her concern for him. Now united, the boy felt at ease, knowing he was in good company, and agreed to join them. And that's how the road ends. Was it good for the boy to join them? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Flick Spoilers signing off.